All right, welcome back, part two. And this is where we're going to talk more about some tangible results that you got to see from the program. Clearly made a huge difference for you on the emotional and philosophical level and feeling supported in all these different ways. Now, we're going to talk more about specific examples. So what are some specific ways this helped you in your work with youth, with coworkers, maybe some parents or community members, and at home?
Yeah, I can start with this one. So I have a student in my room who, up until we started the program, I had just been really struggling to connect with. Really just struggling and wanting that relationship to be there. This course started and I found that slowly just minor interactions between us changed and tweaked, so much so that 2 months into it, she said, I really want you to come to my volleyball game. And just hearing that she wanted me there after months of not being able to really get there was huge. And so when Amy and I walked in and they just started cheering and going wild, like kids don't do that for people they don't care about. And so just to see her face light up and knowing that I was someone that she valued a relationship with, so much so that she invited me outside of school to this thing, was huge. And that really has set the tone for the rest of the year together.
Awesome. Great. How about you, Amy?
Yeah, and I would say, for example, on a personal level is, so I'm a mom of young children and very young children. One is 6 months and then one is 2 years old. So it's very taxing to be a full-time mom and a full-time teacher as well. And I used to come home from work just emotionally really tired from all the different things that are on our plates and all the different hats that we wear as a teacher, especially at a Title I school. So with at-risk youth, and just very emotionally tired that I felt like I was lacking in creating meaningful memories and opportunities for my own children at home. It was very much going through the mundane, like get dinner on the table, like bath time, read some stories, go to bed, do the laundry and such. And very rarely did we do things, kind of out of ordinary, I guess, or out of routine, because I didn't want to be tired the next day because I need to get up and go to work and they need to go to their school and such. But now I feel like I'm not as emotionally drained from my job. And so I feel like I can do my second job of going home and spending time with my family and having the energy to do so and the mindset to do so. And so I don't feel like they're in competition with each other, my work versus my home life. I feel like they support each other more, where I can bring experiences that I'm having at home and I can bring that into my classroom, and my students are just so interested in my own children. But then I can also bring things that I'm doing at home with my children, and they are thriving off of that and very interested. And then I can separate them as well and have them be completely different. And for example, like last night we went and looked at Christmas lights. We drove around and found Christmas lights, and it was like 6 o'clock at night. There's no way I would have done that earlier. I would have been like, I am way too tired. I'm not dealing with that. And it was great and it worked out. And, so it's definitely a shift, not only professionally, but it's great to have that in my personal life as well.
It's like, whether it's your personal life or your professional life, it's your life.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one thing,
Right.
And what was the best part about the fact that you got to go and do that with your kids last night?
Well, it was meaningful to me because I know in reality I have a very short amount of time with my kids when they're my kids. Everybody grows up and moves on and things like that. And I always felt like it was a competition of I'm spending time at my job or I'm spending time with my students and not my own children, or vice versa. And so, like I said, it always felt like they were competing against each other and pulling me in different ways. And so just the feeling of I went to work and I I did activities in my class to build that community and relationship and academics to the fullest of my ability. And I didn't feel like I was worried about, not spending time with my own kids or something like that. And then I got to go home and do the same thing. And I got to do activities with my own children and my own family, and not feel like I was lacking as a teacher by doing that. Like I wasn't doing something that I could have been doing for my students, or that I was just simply too tired or emotionally drained to do it. And so
no teacher's ever said that.
Yeah. So for me, it was just eye-opening to the fact that you can do that, and that your life can have more of a balance and not be so compartmentalized and in competition with each other.
Well said.
Yeah.
Did you have something you wanted to say, Jolene?
I just think that idea of it's one life and it's connected, I think that kind of rippled out to our building too. I know that going through this course with a teammate was really helpful and helped with the accountability piece of the course and with each other, and going out into our building and working with other staff members. It just, again, brings back that humanity piece, and they go home to their families too, and they're tired or stressed, and there's still ways to connect and to build that relationship at school has been really powerful too.
What is you've mentioned that ripple effect before. It's like just you and Amy from your school did this program, and you've mentioned that it had a ripple effect on other people and other staff members. Can you speak a little bit more to what that looks like or has looked like?
Yeah. So for me, I'm only in my third year teaching. I'm the newbie on the team and in the school. And this year I'm a split. So I've been at 3 different grade levels for 3 different years. Everything in my world professionally just shifts all the time. And this year specifically, during and after this course, it has really given me the tools and the skills to approach my admin and really advocate for myself and my kids and get what I need for them to be successful in a way that's really clear and direct, and we get a lot of actions out of this conversation. And before the course, I don't think I would have had that inner, I would have doubted myself so much so that I would not have had that conversation with my admin to advocate for my kids. And so I'm not only benefiting from this, but my kids are through this course and these conversations. So that's been really powerful.
Let's talk more about that. Who, my computer keeps beeping. That's so weird. Who has been impacted the most, and in what way for you? Like, it could be anybody. Who have you impacted? Like, imagine you'd never did this program. Like, who are some people that wouldn't have benefited had you not done it? I don't know, I'm asking the tough questions here.
Yeah.
You're doing great though.
Good.
It's hard to narrow it to one person.
Do multiple. Get a list out.
Yeah. I just think it goes back to that ripple. Like, it started with me. I've noticed a lot of change in myself. And I think that if you picked me up and put me in new situations, I would still feel very successful because the work started with me. And going through with my students, modeling this work in the classroom and being transparent with it and having them see personal growth and communication skills and advocating for self and others, I think that those life skills, they just soak up. And it's so beneficial for them to see adults, people go through these things and create results that didn't come from a fight. No one left feeling upset. It was just, here are the facts, here's what we need, and we're in this together, so how can we succeed?
Yeah, and I also think that our students really benefit from it because, like Jolene was talking about earlier, is, we're able to advocate for ourselves and for our students in a productive way to our administration or to other coworkers. And so action is a lot more feasible to get done. So, depending on the situation of what that looks like. But, it's not just complaining or feeling overwhelmed or just being like, whatever, and then move on to the next thing. We're able to solve many little problems that we are in control of, so that hopefully those can build onto each other to be able to solve bigger problems.
So you're taking action, you're advocating for yourself and your students. There's a ripple effect throughout your whole school. You'd say the leadership is echoing. Oh man, I am a father. I am a father, so I'm allowed one dad joke per interview video. Awesome. Well, let's wrap right there. That's a great spot to wrap, and then we'll do the next segment and just talk a little bit more about the ins and outs, like how it works, like what the heck is the coaching aspect or the format, etc. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. Great. Well, I'll see you shortly. Bye, ladies.
Bye.